For Fort Valley, Daniel Gibbs is set to kick things off. For Tuskegee, it'll be Mikhail King back to return. Two programs, a lot of pride, a lot of history. Both fan bases have really showed out, and off we go to open up week one. Crease up the middle and a big hit to open things up right off the bat. DeMarcus Harris Sr. laying the wood, the senior upperclassman.
Hey, man, he got me ready. Hey, if you're going to run down on the kickoff team, this is how you do it. Physicality, no head in there, no crown, but making a play right off the bat. Those are the kind of things you love to see in a game early in the season because you haven't had any live competition like this. And Harris was like, hey, I'm going to make my name known.
He did it in the opening seconds of the matchup. Again, you can feel it right away how much both of these teams won this game. Fort Valley State's won the last two. Bryson Williams quarterbacking Tuskegee is hoping to turn that around. The pitch to begin things. Another big hit right on the sidelines. The wood was laid.
Yeah, helmets flying. You see stuff coming off helmets. I mean, that's the kind of thing you're going to anticipate all game long.
Malik Hart, the linebacker from Orlando, came over to make the play.
Some Floridians on this team, and he was one of the ones they talked about. Kentrell Lawson is a key playmaker for him in the middle, but number 24, we'll see his name called quite a bit today as well.
Those two have a really good rapport, and it's a strong defensive line for Fort Valley State that they feel confident about. And you see why early on here. Ball did come out. It sounded like there were whistles before.
Ruling on the field, he was down. Third down. Ruling on the field, he was down. Third down.
They call their defense the Blue Death defense, and they like to play Blue Death football with physicality and fundamentals. But watch here. Guys rallying to the football. You always have one holding up, another one trying to come in. You can see the capabilities there of these guys all rallying around the football.
Kerryon Taylor was the ball carrier. One of a few different backs that we'll see today for Tuskegee. They've got 4 returning starters on the offensive line for Tuskegee. Only 3 of them playing today. Have their hands full with that defensive line of Fort Valley State. First third down of the game for Bryson Williams. Has time, might use his legs here. Won't get enough for the first down. Brought down promptly by a Fort Valley defense that's running around early here. Jaden Walker was leading the way.
Yeah, Jaden Walker, Kentrell Lawson. Normally when you watch this team, you're going to see them come with 2, 3, 4 guys, and they really want to rally to the football. That's the thing you want to see early in the year if you're Fort Valley State. 3 and out, making them punt right away so you can get your offense on the field.
Dewan Bell back to return this punt for Fort Valley State. Opts to take it from the 40. Dragged down right there. Fort Valley team that went 8-2 a season ago. For their head coach, Sean Gibbs, it was a season that meant a lot to the fan base as well, getting back to their winning ways. They won this game again last year. Finished second in the SIAC East Division behind Benedict. No divisions this year in the SIAC. Benedict ended up winning the conference championship against Tuskegee. Tuskegee, a program that went 8-3 a year ago, literally flipping the script as you see Kelvin Durham walking out for the first time. Highlighted him in our open preseason conference offensive player of the year. He says, I appreciate that, but I'm not thinking about it. It's a business-like mindset for Kelvin Durham. Hands it off on the first offensive play of the game, and Kentrell Williams shows what Fort Valley did a season ago, Charles, against the Tuskegee team.
The mentality, we talked about it. This defensive line has to show up. And right away, look at the blocking there on the edge. They're getting around the edge. Rio Clater and the tight end, and they're able to run the football. Look at that. Cleaning everything up, and then that linebacker has to come over, that safety. Christian Ramsey has to make the tackle early. That's what they didn't do last year. This defense for Tuskegee is going to be challenged. Let's see if they can step up to that challenge.
Rossi Grimes came over to knock him out of bounds, but not before a first down in the opening play of the game, and already some really good field position for Fort Valley. They say we want to run the ball and establish that tone early.
physicality is already there. 84, Alex Hinton, who they think is going to get more involved, came on the edge and just annihilated the defensive end. They really want to show some physicality, and if you're Tuskegee's defense, you've got to match that. Rashad Watson said, we must play better, and we're going to see if that defensive line can hold up against this physical Fort Valley State team.
Rashad Watson is looking for someone to step up on the D-line. First throw of the game for Durham. It's a low throw, looking for Corinthians Edmonds, his top returning target from a season ago. And they're going to say this is caught.
Yeah, he had to go down and dig it out like a second baseman or a shortstop. Protection is there for him. If Durham has that back, he would give it up just a little higher, so it'd be an easier throw and catch between these two. A really nice job by the receiver of going in and digging that. Edmonds and he have really worked well last year and have picked up this year as well.
They bring Fraylin Warren in motion, another one of the top returning receivers for this team, going to the ground to pick up this first down. It's Kentrell Williams again. They're replacing Emmanuel Wilson at that running back spot. Not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not. When you've got a guy that can put 262, and that wasn't even his best game. But this running back crew feels like they can hold. And look at the push by the line. Really nice job of a tackle by Malik Moore, but it's after that penetration. You see no penetration defensively by the line, but you see those linebackers flowing in there. Vincent Hill and Moore are going to have a lot to do today, and that defensive front has to get off blocks.
As you mentioned to me yesterday at dinner, those guys are really good at the linebacker spot, but they can't be making tackles 5-6 yards back each time. Durham quickly to the air, quickly back to Corinthians Edmonds, who's knocked out of bounds. Stanley Livingstone, who's stepping up at the cornerback spot today, came over to push him out. But another pretty good chunk to stay ahead of schedule for this Fort Valley State offense.
Yeah, Stanley Livingstone, a transfer out of San Jose State. And you can see here what they want to make sure is they keep in front, right? Keep him in front, because that's a 22.3 yard per catch average guy. You've got to say, no, I can't let you be explosive against me. I have to hold you in check.
We know Tuskegee's going to move fast. Fort Valley State can up the tempo as well. Kelvin Durham's been given more responsibility, more leeway this year in terms of making changes like we might have just seen him made there. On second down, Ice Crease opens up again thanks to this offensive line that has two returning tackles back.
Yeah, and what you just said is key. They move guys around just so that can give him an idea, an identification of the defense. You see right there, they're trying to set that up. But Clater, again, coming around that guard pull or that guard wraparound, 62 being the lead blocker for a big, strong running game.
Brandon Marshall is the back, bounces off a tackler, trying to get through another. Did get enough for the first down.
Yeah, he's got a lot of energy, a guy that's transferred from Mercer. What I'll say to this is you're trying to do everything you can not to give up explosive plays, but look at hat on a hat. You got everybody matched up, and then you need a safety to come down and make a tackle. That's not where you want to be. You want to make sure you're playing downhill football on defense.
Joel Hirsch is the offensive coordinator for Fort Valley State. His QB, Kelvin Durham, who he has a really good rapport with, is on track right now. Really well-balanced offense a season ago. We're seeing that early on in this opening drive.
Nice tackle.
Marshall cut down there.
And Lance Watkins, big 55. Oh, excuse me. He came down. Really nice job coming off and just getting rid, shedding the offensive player. Really nice job of just getting in there and making some. You need your defense to penetrate like that. That's a good job there.
They go back to the ground game. They want to get their speed playmakers in space. We're able to do so that time with DeJuan Bell.
Yeah, they might have got. Kentrell Williams might have got away with one there. He was on the edge blocking. Zero out there, and usually the referee is right on. Watch Zero here come to the edge and then reach back. Yeah, he got away with one there. That's early season, but I think the coaches are going to look at that. But really nice job of getting outside. But it was a key block that probably could have been called.
And you don't hear about running backs getting called for holding a lot of
yeah, I'm used to being that tight end where I'm out on the edge and they see me. And you're right. the defender did a nice job of going inside and forced that hold.
Durham opts to keep it here. You see why, showcasing the legs, and Durham's into the end zone. Opening touchdown of the season for Fort Valley State, and they strike first on the 18-yard run.
Hey, Jason, I really thought they had this defender. They had the quarterback accounted for, they had the running back accounted for, but for some reason, Kelvin Durham, long strider, doesn't look like he's getting out there, man, and he just showed that speed and explosiveness.
It was an explosive opening drive. Had some pretty good field position to start it. Daniel Gibbs puts the finishing touches on it. 7-0 start after the 18-yard run from Kelvin Durham.
Durham showing the ability there, just getting down and getting in for 6.
You live in SEC country. You see it, hear it, and feel it everywhere you go. Traditions and rivalries surround you. And there's no such thing as too much. As much as you celebrate the game, Regions celebrates your financial wins even more and helps you plan for the next one. Because in an SEC world,
I'll be right with you.
We're the SEC Bank.
Welcome to Regions. How can I help you?
Interesting piece. Let me bring in my expert.
So many scratches.
Those are from my car keys.
Such a rich history. This won't do well at auction, but at AT&T, it's worth a brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5.
Wait, really? What about this?
AT&T's deal is back.
Wow.
Everyone gets a free new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 with a Galaxy phone trade-in. Any year, any condition.
New Pringles Harvest Blends, blended with sweet potato. Try them today.
Don't you think this is a bit extreme?
It is. But it's where I need to be. So, Mom, Dad, what do you think?
Welcome back to the Boeing Red Tails Classic. Third straight year on ESPNU in a game that honors the Tuskegee Airmen who fought in World War II. Two historic HBCUs, Fort Valley State and Tuskegee, going at it here in Montgomery, Alabama.
I get chills thinking about it because the Red Tails were so instrumental in World War II. The Bombers said, hey, look, we see these guys, they're effective, they're able to escort us and make things happen for us. The 332nd, it's unbelievable to be able to be here and call it and understand the history that's involved in it.
And Charles, we talked about it yesterday. They painted the tails of their P-47s red, the Tuskegee Airmen.
And segregated an army that knew the Bombers were saying, hey, these guys, when they come, we get through. We don't have any issues. And you can hear Tony Dungy before the game. Coach Dungy's dad was a Red Tail, a Tuskegee Airman. It's just unbelievable to hear the history there of what they were able to do.
Gibson to kick off. Some more good kick coverage from Fort Valley State. Now their defense that forced a 3-and-out is set to come back out on the field.
They have guys flying down. Those L4, R5, those interior guys are the ones that usually go and wreak some havoc. They used to be called the wedge busters. They kind of took that away, and I'm glad because I still have some concussions from those days.
Devontae Amasani came out to make the play there. Look at Bryson Williams trotting back out for his second series.
The lefty is really going to have to play well and get this offense going. They haven't scored well the last 2 times they've been in this game.
Operating a no-huddle offense quickly. Pressure comes to the backfield, and he is dragged down penetration from both sides of the defensive line, wreaking havoc there.
Hey, this was a heck of a play by Bryson Williams of just almost getting back to the line of scrimmage. Free guy coming off the edge, no one there. He knows he's there. Good job of moving, but there's so much pressure coming. Quintel Jones, I mean, he just probably thought he saw 13 guys on defense, but he was able to get by a few and almost made a nice play out of nothing.
Will Riggins came up to finish him off there. As you said, good to just kind of take a yard loss on that point. Tries to use his legs here once again. That defensive line for Fort Valley State showing up. Nice play from Malik Harp.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good read by Bryson there because that outside edge didn't collapse. And all you do is give it here because you have a better chance, right? When he goes outside, look at all those white jerseys to account for him. He thought he had something, but maybe giving it inside to get a couple of yards, you end up losing 4 more yards on that. This defense, man, they fly to the ball. You got to get them off balance.
Throw over the middle. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of his intended target, Antonio Meeks, who is his top returning target from a season ago.
Meeks is a key weapon for him, and you could see there he was really trying to lay out and make a play on that.
Dewan Bell is back to return, number 17. It's a Tuskegee offense as well that scored some points last year, averaged 27 a game, but off to a rough start so far. Dewan Bell likes what he sees, trying to cut this back, and the ball came out towards the end of the return. That definitely came out what appeared before his knee was down. So Tuskegee might catch an early break here.
Ruling on the field. Ruling on the field is a fumble and recovery. First down, Tuskegee.
It was recovered by Tuskegee. So they're going to catch a break after Durham fumbles.
Well, he comes back into the teeth of the defense where there's so many guys, and you could see him get hit low right there by the actual punter, I think it was.
Johnny Gilbert pounced on it.
And then Johnny Gilbert was there. Actually, that was a long snapper. Look at Fuentes getting in there and making it happen. I love it.
And they talk about long snappers being the unheralded hero.
That was
not so unheralded there.
You need the momentum change, and that was a really good play right there to get them started. That's the first positive really run that they've had.
Chase Sellers on the run there. Don't forget our Monday night college football game, the only matchup on the Labor Day schedule, an all ACC affair between number 9 Clemson and Duke in Durham. That's 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN and the app. Coverage begins with College Football Countdown at 7 Eastern. Should be a fun one. Monday night, this long weekend of college football. Having a fun Sunday here. One pump from Wilson before he throws it down the sideline. Was that hauled in? It was. Antonio Meeks with a grab that showcases why he was the conference's leading receiver a season ago.
Averages over 22 yards a catch, but also look at the blocking and then the pump fake, a stuttering go, and able to just get the defensive back turned around.
Defense, number 12, penalty is declined. First down, Tuskegee.
Landon Austin is doing everything he can to make that play, but Antonio Meeks, he knows how to play this game, and that's an attack the defense right there. Almost sudden change offense, which you want to see from Tuskegee.
Well, they're feeding off that turnover momentum now. Hand it off this time.
Chase Sellers
moving the pass.
Chase, you could see and feel the intensity of the offensive line. Even all of those guys, because they have 4 returning starters like you talked about. And the difference now, they have Fort Valley State on their heels. Look at this surge of Crimson guys getting off the ball, and then Chase Sellers, nice cut there and knifing through the defense and then just battling to get more yards.
Behind an O-line, they got off to a rough start today, but again, they're returning 4 starters in this group up front, and they're really loading it up now. Right back to Sellers, trying to plunge his way in, and he does.
One of the things you love about teams is being able to run to the short side of the field with some physicality, and they were able to do that right there.
So Tuskegee showing some fortitude early in this matchup. After a couple of disappointing opening offensive series, you get a turnover. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Well, I got a sense that this was going to be a little bit different once they got a chance to get going. They got punched in the mouth, and this time they came fighting back off the ropes.
Lorcan Ryans, the Canadian kicker, able to tie up the game.
Run behind your best players. Right guard, Chancellor Hallman, Hallwell, and Gilbert come off the ball, and then let the young man score like that.
You live in SEC country. You see it, hear it, and feel it everywhere you go. Traditions and rivalries surround you. And there's no such thing as too much. As much as you celebrate the game, Regions celebrates your financial wins even more and helps you plan for the next one. Because in an SEC world,
I'll be right with you.
We're the SEC Bank.
Welcome to Regions. How can I help you?
When you drive a Ram, summer is more than a season. It's an opportunity to load up on more toys, to stop looking for fun and be the one who brings it, and to make every day even more inviting than the last. Make this the summer you drive America's best light-duty pickup.
During the Ram Labor Day sales event, get $1,500 bonus cash allowance on 2023 Ram 2500 and 3500 heavy-duty pickups.
Ready, set, get to Kohl's for clearance savings too good to miss. Save up to 85% after an extra 50% while you still can on comfy tees, stylish sandals, and more everyday essentials for the whole family at Kohl's.
Thoughts, Martin?
Oh, should have bought Dixie. These weak store brand plates are risky business.
Oh.
Next time, get Dixie Ultra Plates. 3 times stronger than the leading store brand. Dixie, make it right.
Ghirardelli Intense Dark. Makes life a bite better.
The wet food cats ask for by name.
Cheez-It Snap. So good we may run out of cheese.
The Boeing Red Tails Classic is brought to you by Boeing, celebrating the trailblazing spirit of the Tuskegee Airmen and the city of Montgomery, capital of dreams.
If you were a Cowboy fan or you knew anything about the Cowboys, or Fort Valley State for that is, Rayfield Wright, Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee in 2006.
Known as the Big Cat, a Hall of Famer. Take a peek at this last drive.
He would have been proud of that. Look at the running game right there, right? Ability. And then look, you think you have Kelvin Durham, but his ball handling skills have improved and knowing when to run have been much better. We're gonna see if they can do that again, but you always worry about it if you're the special teams coach of miscues in that part of the game. We saw Fort Valley State with some nice kickoff return tackles, and then that punt return. When you're a punt returner, you're really not taught to turn back into the knife of the defense. 2 or 3 guys converge on you, you give the ball up. Let's see if Fort Valley State can hold on to the football and get this one going.
Some momentum swings early on in this matchup. Been a fun start as Lorcan Ryan is getting set to kick off for Tuskegee. Golden Tigers bounce back. That one kind of dangerously rolled. Maybe a little deja vu there for the Fort Valley fans after they had just fumbled a punt last time we saw in the special teams game.
And the ball is live, so you got to get on it quickly.
It was DeJuan Bell again. You wonder what his head is like right now.
Well, he did a nice job of coming up, but you got to do it quicker. And the ball, to your point, making sure you almost field it like you have to attack the ball. Playing baseball or growing up playing baseball, that's the one thing. If you let the ball come to you, it will beat you up.
I love your baseball background, creeping into this broadcast nice and early. Heard it a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, I think multi-sport athletes really understand. If you play basketball, you use that ability, you use your baseball ability, and you see quarterbacks even now doing a lot of things from a baseball perspective.
Kelvin Durham's dad was a huge basketball fan. Kelvin didn't like basketball too much. They put him in football, and he hasn't looked back since. Meanwhile, Kentrell Williams isn't looking back right now. Gets out to nearly the 40-yard line. That explosive running game picking up where it left off a season ago.
The cut, the ability to cut right there. We talked about Emmanuel Wilson and his ability to run. But Kentrell Williams, man, that was quick. Got in there, look, he pauses the defense, and boom, I'm gone. You're not going to catch me, Malik Moore. You're not going to. You better bring somebody else with you.
Durham under pressure. First time we've really seen him under duress. Now the ball comes out again. Fortuitously wound up in the arms of his offensive lineman, Andrew Dorsey. But it was punched out nearly a second giveaway.
Well, he's carrying that ball a little loose. And when you're in those defensive line guys, they're going to come up and make you pay, or the linebacker. He wanted to throw the football more. Malik Moore is right there. He's the one that kind of helped knock that ball out. Really good job by Andrew Dorsey. The one thing you want to see from offensive linemen, Jason, is pursue down the field or trail because of things like that. You want to make sure they're there to clean up any mess.
Alex Henson was the tight end in motion. Ball is out again. And right now, Fort Valley's just trying to grasp onto the football. They nearly lost it there for a third time. Again, this game just turned on a fumbled punt. They're backing themselves up now.
They did a really nice job last year of not turning the ball over. They were +8. But again, did he pay attention to the snap? The snap was not a clean snap. It was a little wobbly. He's looking away, trying to get going. Luckily for him, he's able to get it.
And remember, Charles, they're working in a new center this year. They've begun practice each day with working on QB center changes, but this is a little different in the real game.
You do that all the time, but until the live game happens, both of those young men have to get accustomed to each other in this kind of situation.
Cleaner that time, back into the hands of Williams. And this Tuskegee team is pretty happy right now on that sideline.
Fort Valley State started so strong, but this momentum seems to be changing. And there's some self-inflicted wounds as well with this team. Right there, you had almost a fumble by Durham, which was recovered by his own guy. A bad snap, miscue there. And then they just started going backwards.
High punt, out of bounds, and it's going to set up Tuskegee with some really good field position. So just a slew of errors here from Fort Valley, starting to turn the tide of this football game. We'll be right back with the Red Tails Boeing Classic.
Interesting piece. Let me bring in my expert.
So many scratches.
Those are from my car keys.
Such a rich history. This won't do well at auction, but at AT&T, it's worth a brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5.
Wait, really? What about this?
AT&T's deal is back. Wow. Everyone gets a free new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5 with a Galaxy phone trade-in. Any year, any condition.
Go save a new driver Ram. Summer is more than a season. It's an opportunity to get more in before the sun goes down. Make this the summer you drive America's best light-duty pickup.
We wanted to go to Dave & Buster's for sports and $5 bites, but we had a parent-teacher conference. So we made a trade.
Will is failing math.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Trade for $5 bites at Dave & Buster's. You know you want to.
What happens when van life meets fan life? It's time to find out. I'll be meeting Jen Latta at ESPN to create a one-of-a-kind Sprinter van.
So it needs to be a studio on wheels.
So everything in this giant studio you want to put into a Sprinter van. Meet Ian Forsythe of Mercedes-Benz.
You guys want to check it out? This is really tall. We need to have some cameras. And then up here, I'm thinking producer's area.
We can make it happen.
Can't wait to see what you guys do with it.
Next stop, Greensboro, North Carolina, baby. Let's
go.
Let's go.
Let's see who's bringing the flavor today. Brought to you by McDonald's. In an awesome atmosphere.
I like that number, 81.
I do like that. That's a good. You like that number for sure. The Tuskegee fans, the Fort Valley State fans. Little 360 cam action there.
Lisa Keys. Come on, man. You got it. You got it. Get it in there. Uh-oh. Bands. I love it.
Bands are battling before the game. HBCU bands are so cool. That's one of the parts of the rich tradition of HBCUs. Tuskegee is the winningest HBCU football program. Hit 700 wins a season ago. Their head coach, Aaron James, is in his first season and proud of what his team has done over the last couple of series. Set up a screenplay here over on the sideline. Flag came out after the catch was made.
Yeah, they may call the holding on the receiver who had a really nice block. I think it was Meeks. Unless it's a penalty against Fort Valley State. But watch 15 on the outside. Just manhandle the defensive back. Yeah, they may get Antonio Meeks.
Holding. Offense, number 15, 10-yard penalty, first down.
At some point, you got to let go, but man, he was physical on that play. And Kenyon Webb thought he was targeted, but that was just a good clean hit on the sideline.
The referee Ben Cole for today and his crew. And Kenyon Webb made that catch. Antonio Meeks made a spectacular catch earlier in this quarter. Called for the flag there. It'll set him back. Again, this Tuskegee team went 8-3 a season ago. Made it to the conference championship game after going 3-8 the prior year. Trying to build on that. They've been using the word championship and SIAC around the facility on a daily basis. Backed up to 1st and 17 here, though. They go right back to Kenyon Webb. Same play, different side. It was the Fort Valley defense that got off to such a strong start, the line in particular. They're trying to rotate them in and out quite a bit today with this heat. It's cooling off a little bit, but it's about 85 degrees throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, really a good chance to come up with an open field tackle, but Kenyon Webb, look at that nice move and just able to get by Darnell Stevens and pick up nice yardage after losing 10 yards on that penalty earlier.
Williams wants a one-on-one matchup, goes back to that same side. We'll see if this is complete.
The defensive back looked like he may have gotten the interception.
It's a battle for the ball right now.
I can't see the numbers of the guys there, but it was a ball up for grab.
He went to Meeks earlier on that same side. It's Jamal Jonvier, the defensive back for Fort Valley State, in a wrestling match for whoever has possession right now. And they're still on the ground trying to decide to see which direction.
Rooted on the field is a catch by Tuskegee. First and goal.
So it is an Antonio Meeks catch again on that same side. Second one for his highlight reel today.
And they're going to try to go fast so they don't allow this to be looked at because...
And they want to go fast anyway. Now they want to go ultra speed.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going to look at this. I just knew it because when you saw it real time.
There's the end of the first quarter.
We'll give the officials an opportunity to review it right now on the field. It's a catch and a 7-7 tie at the end of the first quarter of the Boeing Red Tails Classic. Fort Valley State struck first, then a fumble led to some Tuskegee momentum. We have ourselves a game here in Montgomery at the historic Crampton Bowl. More action coming up on the other side.
When you drive a Ram, summer is more than a season. It's an opportunity to load up on more toys, to stop looking for fun and be the one who brings it, and to make every day even more inviting than the last. Make this the summer you drive America's best light-duty pickup.
During the Ram Labor Day sales event, get $1,500 bonus cash allowance on 2023 Ram 2500 and 3500 heavy-duty pickups.
When you live in SEC country, you see it, hear it, and feel it everywhere you go. Traditions and rivalries surround you. And there's no such thing as too much. As much as you celebrate the game, Regions celebrates your financial wins even more and helps you plan for the next one. Because in an SEC world,
I'll be right with you.
we're the SEC Bank.
Welcome to Regions. How can I help you?
What happens when van life meets fan life? It's time to find out. I'll be meeting Jen Latta at ESPN to create a one-of-a-kind Sprinter van.
So it needs to be a studio on wheels. Can that even be done?
I got me a little mystery box. Ooh, a little flavor. Best shoe in the world. Come on.
I used to watch the Heisman House every year on TV. And I'd always wonder, is it real? It's very real.
Take a little bit more up the top.
Now that I've been here a while, it's a lot like campus. We have roommates.
Hey, Caleb, just try and keep it down. It's nap time.
Of course, there's a gym.
10.
All right, people, here we go. Looking good, RG3.
No, you're looking good, RG3.
Yeah, so it's a lot like...
room, rookie.
We're doing a ticky-tock. Pound. Just like campus.
So I wanted to go to Dave & Buster's for sports and $5 bites. But I had to visit GamGam, so I made a trade.
Trade for $5 bites at Dave & Buster's. You know you want to.
Welcome back to the Boeing Red Tails Classic. Take another look at that last catch as both teams flip the sides of the field now.
I always say tie goes to the receiver, but I'm going to take that hat off because right here, Janvier goes up and attacks the ball. He's in a vulnerable position, but look how he gets that right hand in there, and this next replay is going to be even more clear of how he was able to go and get it. Look, he has his hand there touching and then goes attacks the football before Antonio Meeks. If there was replay, this could have been overturned.
Instead, Tuskegee goes back to the ground and gets back into the end zone. Back-to-back possessions with a Tuskegee touchdown, and they're on top for the first time today.
Yeah, I love the fact that Coach James is calling a really nice game and getting his run game involved. But I'm going to give credit to this offensive line because they have come off the football and shown who they are and what they're made of.
They put the finishing touches on. And Tuskegee has grasped momentum of this third annual Boeing Red Tails Classic. Thought we'd be in for a fun one. Been a great start so far here in Montgomery.
Who saved me?
We wanted to go to Dave & Buster's for sports and $5 bites, but we had a parent-teacher conference. So we made a trade.
Will is failing math.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Trade for $5 bites at Dave & Buster's. You know you want to.
What happens when van life meets fan life? It's time to find out. I'll be meeting Jen Latta at ESPN to create a one-of-a-kind Sprinter van.
So it needs to be a studio on wheels. Can that even be done?
Oh, man, the way Bryce is able to cover the whole field is incredible.
Yeah, he's really spreading it around. You guys could help, you know.
Just doing our jobs, Bryce. Just doing our jobs.
Yeah, we're working too.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
10-point Tuskegee lead after the last field goal, early stages, second quarter. Well, Saturday night, it's a big one. Steve Sarkisian heads back to Tuscaloosa to lead number 11 Texas against Nick Saban and number 4 Alabama. Remember, these teams played a really good game a season ago in Austin, now facing off in Tuscaloosa. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on the ESPN app, while the colorful Pat McAfee and his crew highlight our ESPN2 telecast. The College Game Day crew kicks off their coverage from Tuscaloosa at 9 a.m. Eastern time. You see, was Mac Brown. We watched him get the job done last night against South Carolina. Now, of course, the coach of North Carolina, but most of those wins came at Texas. Nick Saban, of course, 281 wins, the 2 most career FBS wins among active head coaches. Couple of legends here.
Yeah, both of these guys have just shown consistency, how to win at different programs with just getting to the highest level of their pinnacle. And then Nick Saban, what he's been able to do with Alabama is just unbelievable.
That should be a fun one. It was such a good game last season.
Sarkisian knows that he has a chance with the quarterback play and running game, but you've got to play well against that Alabama team, especially on the road.
Tristan Morgan returning there. And now Kelvin Durham set to come back out. Since their first possession, which found the end zone, Fort Valley with just 14 total yards. They had the punt return fumble that really turned this game around. 17 unanswered points by Tuskegee since that fumble. Kentrell Williams on the carry.
Well, and the defense almost did a nice job. Remember, with the almost pick that would have probably been turned over. But what they have to do now is get back to the run game. I think that's what was effective for them. You see those 2 pullers getting out in front. Nice job by the back, Kentrell Williams, of being patient and letting that his lead blocker get there and make sure it gives him some space.
Get back to the basics.
Yeah.
That's what their offensive coordinator,
now
Joe
free play for them right here. They're going to go after it.
They're going to try to take advantage of it. Looking for Dewan Bell that time. More flags go flying. Stanley Livingstone on the coverage.
Reason I say free play, you get them off sides with the snap count, right? That's another way to make the defense jump. You saw on the left side of the line of scrimmage, 2 guys jumping off sides, and then you get a penalty down the field with pass interference on the free play, so to speak.
Maybe this is what Fort Valley needed to get the momentum going again on their side.
Yeah, this is an opportunity, you said, to get that momentum back.
There are multiple fouls on the defense. Offside, number 90 is declined. Pass interference, number 11. That 15-yard penalty results in first down.
You compound this when the defense jumps offside right here. 2 guys offside. Okay, free play. Quarterback says, I got to attack. This is a great job by Kelvin Durham, but also the receiver of trying to get himself in position. Dewan Bell, watch how he comes back and he runs on the rail, gets back there, and the defensive back, Stanley Livingston, is in no man's land, and that's why you get those 15 yards. Look, fundamental football again. We saw the running back wait patiently. That time, just those things get you back in the game, the little fundamentals of the football game.
Miscues on the fundamental side for Fort Valley led to 17 points for Tuskegee. Now it's starting to flip back in favor of Kentrell Williams and this running game.
This is also created by Kelvin Durham of holding. Watch how long he holds the ball to Williams. Watch this right here. See, he sees it, and it keeps the defense. You see those 2 defenders can't get there. Again, little things add up to big plays.
Kentrell Williams elevated to a larger role this year. Intentions that time for Fraylin Warren Jr. out of his reach. Looking for a quick screen to set up there.
What did we say about Kelvin Durham? When I've watched him on tape from last year, even when he misses high or he'll miss low. Right there, that's just an easy throw and catch. Get it out to Fraylin Warren and let him do the work. And these guys are they know each other. They played since Pop Warner against each other, work together.
Durham 0 for his last 4 through the air. Would love to get back on track. And right now the ground game has them on the plus side of the 50, so they go back to it. into the teeth of the Tuskegee defense there.
That guard center area was a good push. That's why we haven't heard Vincent Hill's name. Jeremy Dees is in the mix, a guy that was all SIAC last year, battling some injuries. But again, this offensive line that really is a younger group showing some good things so far against this Tuskegee defensive line.
Took them a sec to settle in, and now they've settled in. Dean's a redshirt senior, so one of the upperclassmen on a relatively young defense. Meanwhile, Durham pressured again, able to elude the initial trouble. Kept the play alive and made something out of nothing. There's a flag down, but he has Zatarius Anderson, who's inside of the 20-yard line. If this stands, we'll see what the upcoming call is from Ben Cole and his crew. But right now, it's a gain of 28 on the field. Zelly Aldridge made the tackle.
You stay alive, and you find a way to get down the field. Anderson stayed short. You had a guy coming over the top, and Kelvin Durham getting away from that issue. It was really nice.
His offensive coordinator, Joe Hurst, was fired up there. You gotta love that.
Personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, defense, number 26. After this to the goal, first down, Fort Valley.
I didn't see a late hit there. I just saw a guy coming at the end. But Kelvin Durham here, the ability to get away from Zelly Aldridge and then get the ball down the field. Now, I wouldn't call that a late hit. That's just a little love tap if you're a defensive guy. And I'm an offensive guy now. That was not a late hit. But they give him that extra yard, and then the momentum starts again. They've really done a nice job on this drive of attacking this defense.
You surprise me every day, my friend. Traylon Warren in motion here. Fort Valley State knocking on the door. Now they've opened up the door, and they find the end zone. Chance to pull within 3 here thanks to the legs of Kentrell Williams.
Man, they're doing such a good job on that interior offensive line. That play, Kentrell Williams has shown some patience, but I love what they've done interior, and then also the tight ends doing a nice job of blocking. I got to give them some love as well. You know why?
There you go. There you go. Daniel Gibbs.
We said we have a ball game. I anticipated a really tough game today, and it's matching up that way.
We certainly do. How about this opening half? Fort Valley State scored first, 17 unanswered from Tuskegee, and now the answer back.
Look at that blocking there. Stiggers or Clater. One of them will fold around, and then those tight ends that get outside and do a nice job of just annihilating the edge. Look, that makes it easy. When you're a running back, you say, hey, I got all that room. Christian Ramsey, you're a little bit too late. I'm getting in the end zone for 6.
Dave & Buster's for sports and $5 bites, but we had a parent-teacher conference, so we made a trade.
Will is failing math.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Trade for $5 bites at Dave & Buster's. You know you want to.
On season 6 of Fansville by Dr. Pepper, things are heating up.
Mom, Dad, I have a girlfriend, and she likes college football.
The stars have arrived.
I've made my choice. This season, I will be drinking
Dr. Pepper, strawberries, and cream.
And everyone wants a taste of fame.
Welcome back to Chuck's Take, because every fan needs a podcast. To get a thick color, I use 2 coats of maroon. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button.
Dr. Pepper, the one fans deserve.
I love your nails.
Thank you.
At Doth's, an ordinary pretzel just isn't enough. So they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you order a special delivery.
That seems like a lot.
They're really good.
Doth's, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
Look at the Fort Valley band there. Tuskegee up 10. Early stages, third quarter, under their first-year head coach, Aaron James, a former Tuskegee QB. Was the offensive coordinator before, was not only a quarterback, he was a star quarterback at Tuskegee from 1998 to 2001. 42-5 record as a starter, most wins among any QB in Golden Tigers history. Few conference championships as well. The HBCU national championship in 2000.
And I love the humble, good run. And I love the humble brag by him. Hey, I only lost these guys one
to
time.
Fort Valley State once, right? You got to get that in there. He's also a native of Pritchard, Alabama, graduate of Tuskegee, has a bachelor's degree in history. I know you're a big history guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where he understands the legacy here, and he talked about it. Hey, we're the winningest HBCU. When he wanted to instill that in these young men. Fort Valley State's not going to quit fighting. You know that. But when you have Aaron James back on that sideline, a little bit different.
Bryson Williams had time in the pocket, broke down. Aaron's wife, Rosie, and his two daughters, Aaron and Layla, are very proud of Dad and everything he's done so far. Just getting started here as the head coach of Tuskegee.
Let's give it a shout out to Reginald Ruffin. Coach Ruff also was the head coach, and they coached together at Miles College. He brought Aaron James over and basically a coach in waiting almost, and then gave him the opportunity after last year to take over from the offensive coordinator position to become the head coach.
He thanks Coach Ruffin multiple times, and we chatted with him the other day. 3rd and 6 for his offense. Williams improvising, but then brought down. Dragged down by the ankles there. Edan Farmer able to make the play.
Farmer just was shot out of a cannon on that. 2 sacks last year. But that was a defensive front you expected to see. And those guys are flying to the football. At no time, Bryson Williams gets back there. Pressure on the outside is picked up. But Farmer came off and just made a nice play. Sean Stitton was trying to block him one-on-one, and he beat him and just got to the quarterback.
DeJuan Bell back to return here. Yeah, Farmer's one of the edge rushers for Fort Valley. Had 52 tackles last season. A guy who could be poised for a big season. There was some contact on the kicker for Tuskegee, Ryan Duff. He went down. There's a flag in the area. So now Ben Cole will make a call here that could be a big one. Looked, it was Devontae Amasiani who came up on the hit there against the punter.
Well, they've come close a couple of times and been able to not run into the punter.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker. Number 35, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Self-inflicted wounds. You just cannot have those. You know, and this is one where you can just pull off. The kicker does a nice job of giving some Hollywood, and actually, but you can't go to him and just pull him down. You've got to let him, you've got to run by, act like that's just the mistakes you cannot have in the special teams game. That was the one thing that, talking to Coach Gibbs, he said, you know, that's the one concern we all have, no matter who you are, your first game, just because you just don't know how guys are going to react. And that's another free 15 yards you've given a deep offense that has really played well.
Special teams has on multiple occasions set Tuskegee up in plus territory. Back to the ground game behind an offensive line that returns 4 starters this year. And they set themselves up in some good position here. Don't forget our Monday night college football game, the only matchup on the Labor Day schedule, an all ACC affair between number 9 Clemson and Duke in Durham. That's 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN and the app. Coverage begins with college football countdown at 7 Eastern time.
Be locked into that one. I got Duke next week.
Duke next week, that's right.
A short week for them. It's a pretty good team. Expected some good things out of Duke and Clemson.
Zena Mopa is the running back in here, true freshman, picking up a first down. They go to him a couple of times and get good chunks on both occasions.
And this is where, you, as a former quarterback, you know to say, hey, let's mash. Look at those guys here, all picking up someone. And Moba is able to just find a hole and hit it. Quarterbacks that understand offensive linemen know, hey, look, we got to lean on these guys now. And this is the Fort Valley State team that has been on the field quite a bit defensively. This is where you can really separate yourself with another touchdown if you're Tuskegee.
Top target all day has been Antonio Meeks. Williams keeps it here. They get another chunk on the ground, this time by the legs of their QB. Jaden Walker came over to finish him off, but not before another good chunk on first down.
Really improved on these kind of things, making the decision and not hesitating. Now, he was looking, everyone's covered, but watch. He goes through his progression. Okay, I got to get out of here and pick up some positive yards. Nice job by Bryson Williams. And now they've gone too tight, so we call this 12 personnel or ace, where you got those two big tight ends and one back. This is a time to lean on this Fort Valley State ball club.
That throw low, skipped off the turf, incomplete. The biggest matchup of the opening weekend in the SIAC. Two teams that finished in the top three in the conference a season ago. Tuskegee made it all the way to the conference championship after going 8-3, lost to Benedict. Fort Valley came up second in their division, but went 8-2.
And it's interesting, this game doesn't count against their conference.
It's true.
Record, but it's bragging rights.
It's a meaningful game, and you can feel it.
Definitely.
Great crowd here at the historic Cranston Bowl in Montgomery. This Boeing Red Tails Classic on ESPNU. Williams to the air, has a completion. No surprise, it's Antonio Meeks again.
They come off the edge, but he can see the blitzer because he's a lefty. Watch the blitzer coming off the edge, and he just looks at him and knows, okay, I got to beat this one guy. He's not coming from my backside. Where they vacate is where you throw. Meeks gets there. Nice, easy throw and catch.
Williams, that looked designed, took a big pop initially, then kept it alive. Somehow just turning his way. His passing yards were up at the end of the season, but we know he's a dual threat. And right now on this drive, his balanced skill set is really paying dividends.
It really is, and he's finding weapons when he needs to. But this time here, okay, I pull it, I'm going to take it, and then you're expecting help, but he just did it on his own. I mean, he ran through 2 or 3 defenders, and then the offensive line has to come and push to give him some extra yards. It's a 5-yard pickup. He also did that before when there was some pressure on him the last time.
3 receivers at the top. They go that way. Open man in the end zone. Noah Hart, his first touchdown of the day. And Tuskegee's opening up this game now.
What did Meeks say about Hart? He said, I expect him to make some plays and contribute. And that was a nice play by Bryson Williams of throwing him open.
It's a receiving core that told us we feel like we need to prove ourselves today. I think they've done that.
That offensive line has to be thanked as well because the running a game has set them up where it's put Fort Valley on their heels, and then when you throw, you attack.
Lorcan Ryans splits the upright with the extra point. Noah Hart, how about the Montgomery native in his hometown making the catch in the end zone?
You live in SEC country. You see it, hear it, and feel it everywhere you go. Traditions and rivalries surround you. And there's no such thing as too much. As much as you celebrate the game, Region celebrates your financial wins even more and helps you plan for the next one. Because in an SEC world,
I'll be right with you.
We're the SEC Bank.
Welcome to Region. How can I help you?
Drive a Ram. Summer is more than a season. It's an opportunity to get more in before the sun goes down. Make this the summer you drive America's best light-duty pickup.
Oh, man, the way Bryce is able to cover the whole field is incredible.
Yeah, he's really spreading it around.
You guys could help, you know.
Just doing our jobs, Bryce. Just doing our jobs.
Yeah, we're working too.
Kelvin Durham's team down 14. You see him on the sideline. His second year as the starter, but the veteran leadership here. He told us one of the goals is don't be too high, don't be too low. And he kind of embodies that when you talk to him.
Yeah, being an older brother, having four brothers and one sister, he's used to being a leader. But that's what the quarterback position usually commands you to be.
That's what he told us. It's a cool point you brought up, as this is now broken free down the sideline. One man to beat, and they're going to find the end zone.
What always happens in these situations is where you have guys converge and there's nobody to make a play, or they relax.
Juwan McGee on the return, 95 big yards.
So I think what happens is you think no one is going to catch him or everybody else is there to catch him, and then all of a sudden you have to converge on the ball.
The kick is no good.
Poor snap. Never really got there clean. But again, when you have coverage and you think he's rallied, Juwan McGee continues to stay effective. Look at that. 3 or 4 defenders hit him, and everybody kind of relaxes. And after that, he's able to escape. And the last person is Daniel Gibbs. Gibbs isn't going to get him. And he takes it to the house. Really nice job of staying focused on getting through all of those defenders. He gets through 3 or 4 guys, and then there's only one to beat. We talked about special teams being key. It has really paid dividends for this Tuskegee ball club.
The Tuskegee fan base is loving it. Their team, after Fort Valley answered back, looked like there's momentum going. The special teams game has been so big in favor of the Golden Tigers.
That was the one concern both coaches mentioned. Hey, we have to cover, we have to do things well. But I think that's where you end up with situations like this. And McGee wasn't even listed as one of the returners. Noah Hart and a bunch of other guys have been mentioned, but that's where that's what happens in these games.
Dewan Bell returning here. Now he has a crease. Dewan Bell trying to answer with a kick return touchdown of his own. He has one man to beat. Answers right back.
That's how you answer the bell.
What an exchange.
You got one Dewan on the other side. You have another Dewan that says, you do it, I'm going to do it. Wow. And I'm going to tell you, this last block, when we see the replay, that is the key to making plays happen. You need all your guys to step up and play, but that was a huge block late to help them. Fort Valley State could have been out of this. There's an injured player on the field. Now, when you have this ability to just say, hit the hole and go, you knew right away there was a special chance. But this is the key. He has a couple of key blocks late. And then this last block was critical by Tristan Morgan, the freshman out of Atlanta, Georgia. That's what you have to do. And I'm telling all the young people, when you watch games or you watch film, it's not the guy that scores all the time. It's all the other ones that are helping to make that happen.
Dewan Bell is one of the transfers for Fort Valley State this year that we talked about would be big. How often do you see back-to-back kick return touchdowns of 90-plus yards? We just saw it. We thought this would be a game with electric talent on display. Take a look at these returns. This is the first one.
Yeah, Juwan McGee, again, just attacking, and you thought he was down, and even the defenders that are there thought he was down. The only one left was Daniel Gibbs. And he had the chance, but he can't quite pull him down. And then this one here. The blocking that you have, you're going to see Harris 33 early. That was a nice block by 34, but watch this by 33 Harris, and then this one by Tristan Morgan. Those are critical plays that'll show up. And no matter what happens in the game, those are the coaching moments that you say, this is why you have to be hustling and getting after it every single play.
2-1, same result. One on both sides. Fun little spurt in this game.
Oh, man.
Wow. Well, now we wait with bated breath for the next reserve. Juwan McGee once again finding space up to the 30.
They didn't hesitate this time.
Our hearts, I think, collectively were pounding here at the Crampton Bowl.
Oh, man.
Well, the U.S. Open round of 16 continues tomorrow morning on ESPN at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. We'll have 4 hours of primetime tennis coverage for you on ESPN2 starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Every point is also streaming live on the ESPN app. Great crowd here in Montgomery, Alabama on this Sunday evening.
Yeah, they have been in it from the very beginning.
They have. Get the bands out before the game. These crowds have not disappointed. Thanks for joining us tonight. Jason Ross Jr., Charles Arbuckle, our awesome ESPNU crew here with you for this Boeing Red Tails Classic. Fort Valley State has won the last 2 meetings between these teams. But as you told me last night, it's opening night. On paper, maybe Fort Valley State is the favorite today.
Yeah.
But it's opening night. We learned that in college football yesterday. You never know.
I mean, I
you just don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't know, and you get better each week. But the distance that you come from, it's going to be offsides, from week 1 to week 2 is tremendous. DeAndre Harvey, the tight end, a little bit early.
False start. Offense. Number 13. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Just a little too quick. It was on 1, or it was on 2. He went on 1. This tight end group, they really think they have something in that makeup, and then on the other side as well. This offensive line, we talked about them having 4 returning starters. All of those guys have played well, and even Elliott Howell, who
is second down.
Well, they think the best player may be Chancellor Holliman, right guard.
Williams working behind him again. Just a short throw that's actually going to lose some yards here.
Really good defense these last 2 plays. They have just flown to the football and not given Tuskegee any opportunity to make any extra yards.
If you score a touchdown for Fort Valley State, you're right back within 6.
Yeah. I think that kick return really helped them get some momentum. Nice scrape by the linebacker there, just flying over to make a play.
Been an electric third quarter here in this Boeing Red Tails Classic. Williams under duress again, and this time he is sacked. Quentel Jones, who switched from 52 to 0, able to make the play.
Well, again, you think he's blocked up, and then he just gets off and able to make a nice play.
Adion Farmer, scratch that, makes the play there. That's several jersey changes tonight. Dewan Bell looking for a repeat act from the last time he was out there on special teams. Gets up to the 44. Under 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Let's take a look at tonight's defensive spotlight brought to you by Boeing. And it's the Tuskegee front 7 here.
Yeah, you talk about a group that was not well known. You didn't know what they were going to do. And right away, you see Culprit make plays. just really applying pressure and not letting KD get comfortable. Jaden Barfield, some of the names that we heard about but wanted to see. Barfield, a transfer out of Alcorn State.
So Durham back out there, his second series since returning from the injury. And this should be pass interference as Alex Henton was tripped up. Looked inadvertent, nonetheless. It's a flag, and it's going to be a first down for Fort Valley State.
Yeah, they want to get Henton really involved again this year. A nice job on the corner route. But Christian Ramsey, the free safety, in that no man's land, knows he has no help deep.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty. First down.
This is where, as a tight end, you know I go down and there's nobody back there. But Christian Ramsey trips him up and gets the penalty call. He knew he was beat.
Sets up Fort Valley State in plus territory. Going out to Corinthians Edmonds here. In space, made a couple men miss. Some extracurriculars at the end of this play. Couple of players got tangled up. Flag went flying. Zatarius Anderson was in the mix. I can't quite see who he was going at it with for Tuskegee, but
helmets flinging.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a penalty here. Stanley Livingstone, the defensive back, was the Tuskegee player whose helmet came off.
Some good blocking initially with Anderson and Shaw Robinson, but it got a little bit too heated.
After a really nifty run from Corinthians Edmonds, though.
We talked about it earlier, though. Those are those things you can't have happen. Stanley Livingstone out of Carson, California. Lawndale High School, San Jose State transfer. Covered him a couple of years ago when I called some San Jose State games, and he was a factor there. And he's had to step in for some injuries in that secondary, which has also helped this Tuskegee defense. We talked about their front. They had a lot of youth in the pack as well.
He's an upperclassman, junior. So this will be an interesting call here to see what they come up with.
Real fouls by both teams. Going to run, holding, offense, number 7. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 7. Defense, number 11. We enforce the 10-yard holding penalty. This is the first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game. Remains first down.
So you got a lot going on in this play.
Lots of cleanup.
Holding play initially. You'll see
7, Zatarius Anderson.
That's your hole. Yeah, right there. On number 11, Stanley Livingstone. And then you don't see this, but here's the after effect. Right there, throwing each other down. Now, Anderson is fortunate that it was not called against, it was called against both of them, because not only did he hold, but the helmet flying off usually goes the other way, but they were able to call unsportsmanlike on both he and Livingstone.
So at the end of all that, resets to a 1st and 10 from the Tuskegee 42 for Kelvin Durham, whose return has instantly made an impact on the success for this Fort Valley State offense. But you wonder what that little brief hiatus between plays will do for their momentum and how they were kind of grooving each play. It's another quick throw. He wants Edmonds again. Oh, that was nearly intercepted. In on the coverage there was Mikhail King Jr.
Yeah, he had every chance to make that interception. He and Edmonds giving each other dap. They've been going at it all game long. This ball just gets up high. It stays up there. And King Jr. with a nice play. All he has to do is come away and interception. He knows it.
approaching the final minute of this third quarter. That is intercepted. And look who it is, Mikhail King Jr. able to redeem himself on the ensuing play, and Tuskegee has the football right back.
Not a good decision by Kelvin Durham. Again, talking about making sure you take care of the football, you limit your turnovers, and you manage the game. That was not a good decision by him. Mikhail King Jr. in a perfect spot, knowing that the quarterback is there. He drives, and then he comes up, and it was an ill-advised throw. He wanted to get it to Edmonds, but Edmonds was closer to the sideline. Throw that away. Not a good decision by Kelvin Durham. And I think you said it best. All of the stuff that happened, and, you know, unsportsmanlike penalty, the holding. We've seen those self-inflicted wounds, and that's one right there. All you have to do is just throw it away to live another day. Don't give that ball up like that.
There are moments in the game where it almost feel like you have to do more.
Yeah.
And that's an occasion there where you try to do a little more than you need to. As Chase Sellers is brought down.
Will Riggins with a really great play from going down in the pursuit. But you're right. I mean, you've been out of the game, you're behind, and you think you have to do a little bit more, and you played well up until that point. You haven't made any, just was not a good decision by him, and he knows that.
Will Riggins, one of the players that they've been rotating in, as you see Duane Bell and Kelvin Durham talking about plans for the fourth quarter, which still just a two-score game. That, of course, gives momentum back to Tuskegee, but just a two-score game going into this fourth as they hold up the four fingers.
Yeah. Now your defense has to hold, and then you get the ball back and just methodically march down the field. You're not going to get it all at once.
That is the end of the third quarter.
Aaron James, the head coach for Tuskegee, only lost to Fort Valley State once as a player, but Fort Valley State has won the last two meetings in this rivalry. Big fourth quarter on the horizon in the third annual Boeing Red Tails Classic.
An ordinary pretzel just isn't enough, so they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you order a special delivery.
That seems like a lot.
They're really good. Dots, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
The NFL season is here.
They are showing out with the pregame fix.
Show me where to get that.
All eyes on me. And you looking at me? Yeah, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. What you looking at me? Know you like what you see? I know you like what you see. Yeah, you like what you see. Ow, all eyes on me. All eyes on me.
Oh, man, the way Bryce is able to cover the whole field is incredible.
Yeah, he's really spreading it around.
You guys could help, you know.
Just doing our jobs, Bryce. Just doing our jobs.
Yeah, we're working too.
Boeing Red Tails Classic, second half. Charles, it's been memorable.
Oh, man. It has, where you have return by Duane McGee, and then Duane Bell comes back with the convoy to get in for 6. And then Kelvin Durham with the strike to Edmonds. And then they punch it in for 6. That has made this game close. And now Fort Valley State has the ball again. You can see all the things that happened in the second half. It's been exciting.
Back-to-back kickoff returns for touchdowns in the third quarter. Fort Valley State outscoring Tuskegee 17-13 in this half. And now Kelvin Durham, who has twice been injured in a heroic-like effort. The preseason conference player of the year in the SIAC, showcasing the grit and the intangibles to get back into this game. And he's done more than just get back into it. He's gotten his offense back into it. They've got 154 yards in this second half after the passing game really slowed down and he was out.
Hey. Yeah. Well, they talk about managing and getting, facilitating, but he has made some huge plays as well. He's
rolling this time. Wanted Zatarius Anderson the rule this a complete catch.
Za'Tarius has to come out after his helmet goes off.
12.
But he's able to get in that little area. He knows he has a man, and he just lets Durham throw him over there. Helmet comes off, so he has to come off for one play.
Now 3rd and 3. Fort Valley State is 5 for 11 on 3rd down today. Durham under duress. Made the smart decision to not throw that away, and the sack from the Tuskegee defense. Javion Miller in on the play. Malik Moore, Vincent Hill.
Really nice job by this defense. Offensive line is beat to the punch, and there's some pressure right away, and it forces Durham to not have anywhere to go, and then it's a convergence of about 5 guys before he could even get out of there.
Javion Miller is the one who led the way.
Another freshman that's stepping up for this ball club. Another defense that was unknown to us and even their coaching staff. They have stepped up and made some plays tonight.
It's a defense that struggled a season ago as well for Tuskegee. Meanwhile, Kerryon Taylor has the edge, and he'll take a big hit along the sideline. Tuskegee wants a late hit here.
They're going to get a flag. I think a flag just came out late.
Flag came out late on what appears to be a late hit.
I think
it's a return of 16.
That's a receiver. Za'Tarius Anderson. Oh. Solomon Riggins. Excuse me. One of the double numbers. Very built similarly to Anderson. But you expect a defensive guy to come over and make a play like that, but just a little too late.
Personal foul. Late hit. Ticket team. 15-yard penalty. We had to end of the run. First down, Tuskegee.
So the self-inflicted errors creep back in again with 6:13 to go on this dwindling fourth quarter clock. Not a spot to do that.
Yeah, he was way out of bounds, and he was being held. And that's it. You could really get injured there.
Yeah, in a one-possession game too right now.
You're giving free yards to an offense that has really started to hit its stride as well. You know who's been quiet? Antonio Meeks. Interested to see if they would look to go to him at this point in the game.
He had 140 receiving yards in the opening half. But you're right, haven't really found him yet in the second half. To the ground here with Zena Moba.
And they've really started to play a little bit differently. I don't see Austin on him like he was in the first half. Lataj Wright has been the guy that's been kind of following him, and it almost looks like they have safety help over the top to just say, look, we're not going to let you beat us with this guy.
One catch for Meeks in the second half for 9 yards at 140 on several big plays in the first half. He's at the bottom of your screen, number 15.
Now, Corey Petty is open. He's got Landon Austin on the other side. I'm interested to see if Bryson Williams will pick on that side.
It's top of your screen. Goes the opposite way. And Williams lost the football. This is recovered by Fort Valley State. Turnovers continue to play a key role in this game. Jaden Walker recovers it, and the Wildcats are back in business.
Ruling on the field. There's a fumble and recovery by the defense. First down.
Will Riggins made the tackle that jarred the ball loose.
Nice job by Riggins to come in and knock that ball out. And then it was a convergence. You know, when you think you have the ball and Will Riggins is there to knock it out and Jaden Walker comes and cleans it up. You have to protect the football in those instances, and now you give it right back to a guy like Kelvin Durham. Let's see what he can do with it.
It's been teetering back and forth, and now all of a sudden Fort Valley State has momentum and life right back. Down one score, that ball batted down at the line. It's like a team has life, then they kind of give it back to the other team.
That's true. real good opportunity there for a completion, but the defensive line does a really nice job of knocking that one down. You start to get a beat on where the quarterback's going, especially by how he's, just the tendencies, and you can see this defensive line starting to figure out on both sides how to get those hands up.
Season opener for both teams. Fort Valley State has won the last two in this rivalry. Going to dump it to the backfield. Eluding a tackle there is Brandon Marshall, who's up to the 50-yard line.
That throw was designed to get him out in space. Sometimes you see it go behind or where he has to slow down. Brandon Marshall did not have to slow down one step because Kelvin Durham dropped it in there. Watch how he gets the ball out to him and throw guys open in space. A little bit low, but it was enough for him to catch it and go.
You wonder about fatigue right now defensively for Tuskegee as Marshall continues to pound his way ahead. After a gain of 23, he picks up a gain of 9.
And this is where you like having an experienced guy who transferred from Mercer and who they said has been a key component when you lose a guy like Wilson, who was such an effective back now at the NFL level.
Deja vu for the Tuskegee fans who watched Emmanuel Wilson run for 265 in this game a season ago. They plug in the transfer Marshall, who's been such a leader. A grad transfer, already has his degree. This time they switch it up and go to Kendrell Williams.
Fresh legs. When you rotate those backs in, they talked about it. By the end of the game, we want to have guys that are fresh. Just like that D-line is rotating in, we have 2 or 3 backs who can come in and make plays. Hadn't seen Tristan Morgan much back there, but those two, Kentrell Williams and Brandon Marshall, have done a really nice job running the football.
All 3 timeouts for both teams. Remember, it's a 6-point game, so Fort Valley State gets the touchdown and the extra point. They go up 1 with under 4 to play and the clock winding down. Fort Valley State is a bit more methodical than Tuskegee, too.
You've got a combined 113 yards between those 2 ball carriers, and that's made the difference. They have rushed at a better proficiency than Tuskegee has, and this is what you need. You talk about 4-minute offense. You need guys that can run the football, but your offensive line has to protect, and let's make sure center quarterback exchange has to be clean.
This possession was birthed by a fumble from Tuskegee. Turnovers have swung the momentum consistently in this game. Durham.
Protect the football, quarterback.
Yep.
You cannot get careless with the football.
Stanley Livingston on the back end there. Durham has thrown an interception in this half from a late decision. Here's a decision he had to make here.
And not only that, but carrying the ball loosely here. You've got pursuit by Livingstone, who almost knocks that ball out. Have to protect it. Great pursuit by Stanley Livingstone. Another guy that has really helped this defensive backfield tonight. With Antonio Kennan out, here's a guy that had 46 tackles last year, 1 interception. He was out tonight.
Maybe the biggest third down of the game so far. Durham looking to the 5-yard line. That's intercepted. Second interception he's thrown today. Picked off by Christian Ramsey, who's taken it back the opposite direction, up near the 50. Turnover after turnover from both teams, and ultimately this game could possibly come down to that pick.
Ball hung up way too high, and all you have to do as a safety is play center field. You cannot have those mistakes when you have an opportunity, and I know Kelvin Durham wants that back again.
Ramsey with the interception, one of the younger players starting today.
He and Michael King Jr. have come up with some key stops of this Fort Valley State team. Wasn't sure if Kelvin Durham got hit, but man, that ball came out and hung.
Timeout.
A Tuskegee fan base that wants this win. They've lost the last 2 in the Boeing Red Tails Classic. Maybe Christian Ramsey closed it out for them. We'll find out when we come back. Still time left.
You live in SEC country. You see it, hear it, and feel it everywhere you go. The traditions and rivalries surround you. And there's no such thing as too much. As much as you celebrate the game, Regions celebrates your financial wins even more and helps you plan for the next one. Because in an SEC world,
I'll be right with you.
we're the SEC Bank.
Welcome to Regions. How can I help you?
When you drive a Ram, summer is more than a season. It's an opportunity to load up on more toys, to stop looking for fun and be the one who brings it, and to make every day even more inviting than the last. Make this the summer you drive America's best light-duty pickup.
During the Ram Labor Day sales event, get $1,500 bonus cash allowance on 2023 Ram 2500 and 3500 heavy-duty pickups.
The NFL season is here.
They are showing out with the pregame fix.
Show me where to get that.
All eyes on me. And you looking at me? Yeah, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. What you looking at me? Know you like what you see? I know you like what you see. Yeah, you like what you see. Ow, all eyes on me. All eyes on me.
What happens when van life meets fan life? It's time to find out. I'll be meeting Jen Latta at ESPN to create a one-of-a-kind Sprinter van.
So it needs to be a studio on wheels.
So everything in this giant studio you want to put into a Sprinter van. Meet Ian Forsyth of Mercedes-Benz.
You guys want to check it out?
This is really tall. We need to have some cameras. And then up here, I'm thinking producers area.
We can make it happen.
Can't wait to see what you guys do with it.
Next stop, Greensboro, North Carolina, baby. Let's
go.
Let's go.
The Boeing Red Tails Classic is brought to you by Boeing, celebrating the trailblazing spirit of the Tuskegee Airman.
Drayton Florence there, the 2023 SIAC Hall of Fame inductee. Played at Tuskegee in the early 2000s. Talked about Aaron James, who also played at Tuskegee, the head coach in the late 90s, early 2000s, went 42-5 as the starter. He's now in his first year as the Tuskegee head coach. And boy, would this feel good for him if in his first Boeing Red Tails Classic as the head coach, he's able to finish out this win. And his players, we love so much, have gotten the job done in different ways, have faced adversity. But these are the big moments right now, trying to finish it off. And we're still far away from this thing being finished up, based on what we've seen.
Face man, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down, Tuskegee.
Those things right there give you the opportunity to finish. I also had a chance today to go to the Legacy Museum and also the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, and just blown away by walking through that museum and memorial. All the civil rights things here, but the Red Tails Classic, I'm glad I got an opportunity to call this game and be here.
It's been an amazing experience. It really has. The history of Montgomery, the history of these two programs, the history of the Crampton Bowl, we're calling this game from right now. It's built up to what's been a very fun, still time to finish left in this game that has gone back and forth in an incredibly entertaining second half.
It's not over till it's over.
Still 2 minutes. But a pretty methodical offense is pretty fast-paced offense, I should say, is winding down the clock and playing a methodical style right now. 3 timeouts left for Fort Valley State. Don't forget, Monday night, there's still football for you on Monday night. The only matchup on the Labor Day schedule, an all-ACC affair between number 9 Clemson and Duke in Durham. That's 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN and the app. Coverage beginning at 7 Eastern time with college football countdown.
Timeout, Fort Valley.
A lot of people,
first timeout of the second half. It's going to be a 30-second timeout.
A lot of people know about Clemson, but Duke with Riley Leonard, that quarterback is going to be he's going to be a factor. And I'd say I'm really looking forward to just watching that game to see how both of these teams compete the first game of the season.
Well, their fellow ACC team, Florida State, is in a big battle right now with LSU over on ABC.
from the Charlotte area. Will Shipley is from Weddington High School. I know his family well. I know him, and I know he's ready for a big season along with Cade Public. The defense, offensively, Clemson has to play better than they did last year, but people were down on them, and you win 10 games. So I think it's because they were so enamored with them playing for national championships, and you got a team like Duke and Mike Elko. They won 9 games last year. I think this is a good barometer for both teams to start off with.
It's a great point. It's also the opening weekend for Tuskegee and Fort Valley State, the NCAA D2 level. These teams trying to get off to 1-0 starts. Tuskegee made it to the SIAC Conference Championship a season ago. They have goals. They've been saying it around the facility every day. We want to get back there and win it this time. Starts today. Here's a pitch and the ball is out again. They nearly had a disaster in the form of back-to-back possessions with a fumble on the last fumbled. Gave it to Fort Valley State. Timeout called here by Fort Valley State. This is why we said the game isn't over yet. It's been a theme in this quarter. Near disaster here.
Timeout.
And he didn't look the ball all the way in. He took his eye off of it at the last time. Zena Mulba.
It was the freshman.
Yeah, and that's one of those things. He's going to know, I got to secure the catch. And then he's going to a side where he has no help. And I think maybe coach is telling him that. You have nobody out there. It's just you in the back. So even if he catches it clean, it's not an opportunity. And those are the kind of things you work on in the first game.
If you're a Tuskegee fan right now, the next 101 seconds are going to be the slowest 101 seconds of your life. After the trend of this second half has continued here on this possession.
Well, what you want to do here is you want to try to make the first down, but it's a 3rd and long. You don't want to put it in harm's way. And then you just got to use as much clock and know that you got a guy on the other side that's got the ability. He didn't have a great throw the last time, but we've seen him tonight make some big, big plays.
Fort Valley State with the 1 timeout. 3rd and 11 here. Biggest 3rd down for the Fort Valley State defense today. They opt to run it. They went back to Mulba, showing trust in their freshman back. On 3rd and 11.
Timeout.
And there's
Fort Valley.
The timeout for Fort Valley State.
The final timeout of the game. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Got a couple of guys down. And I'm not really shocked that they ran the football, because if you throw it and you don't use any clock.
Yep. Fort Valley State wouldn't have needed to use that timeout.
Yeah.
Multiple Fort Valley State players down here after that play.
Now, the new rule in college, while we're, hopefully both of these guys are okay, is that within the 2 minutes of the end of the half or the end of the game, the clock will stop if you get first down. So no timeouts. It reverts back to the college rule, which has changed from last year, where you would automatically get the clock to stop every first down to move the chains.
Well, we've talked about legends in the game associated with HBCUs, and this game, of course, honors the Tuskegee Airmen. It's really been a neat event, building up on both sides. So what's going to be a fun finish here in the Boeing Red Tails Classic 3rd annual. DeJuan Bell is back to return. This is going to take a roll that goes into the end zone. Wow, that was close to Tuskegee's punt coverage, saving that prior to the goal line. But instead, it'll leave 124 for Kelvin Durham to come out, take another peek at how close it was.
That ball took a wicked bounce both times. And you have Michael King Jr. almost able to keep it in play.
So now Durham, the preseason conference offensive player of the year, who has had a heroic day coming back from being injured multiple times, culminates very fittingly in an opportunity to potentially piece together a game-winning drive with 84 seconds to go and no timeouts. We asked him about pressure. He said there isn't really a pressure to balance. The goal is to win and make sure everyone is doing their job. He's going to be the conductor here with a minute 24 to go. As time, once Darius Anderson and finds him. Anderson cuts it back inside the 25. Now reversing field inside the 20. Anderson down the sideline inside of the 5. Gain of 76 on first down.
Big play receiver and a big throw, big arm from the quarterback. This is just, you cannot get beat behind if you're the defensive back. You cannot get beat deep. And Darius Anderson goes by Christian Ramsey and almost turns him around and scores on that play. Wow.
Play clock operator, please reset the game clock to 57 seconds. 5-7.
As a safety, you have to go deeper than the deepest man. And then after that, you got to make a play. And this is just an outstanding play by Darius Anderson. New guy needs to get him up to speed, but he is 6'3", a big receiver and a guy that they like to use, and they are able to get him in position.
Brings up first and goal for Fort Valley State.
Jason, you said it. The game was far from over.
There was still a long minute 41 left, and we said that. Now 57 seconds left. Darius Anderson, the transfer from West Georgia, talked about the transfers for this offense, and he comes up big in the biggest of moments for his QB, Kelvin Durham. Kelvin Durham's family at the game today talked about having 5 younger siblings, younger sister, 4 brothers, and how that has carried over into leadership on the football field. Tosses it out here, a hit promptly made. They're going to say that was incomplete.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Second
was
down.
looking for DeJuan Bell. Rossi Grimes came over to make the big hit.
Well, and he did a nice job of just saying, okay, I know this blocker is going to try to take me on, but I don't care. I'm going straight after the receiver. And this was a good heads-up play by the defensive back, Grimes. And that was a huge play and a stop.
And if you're this Tuskegee defense, right now, 2 timeouts, 52 seconds left. Fort Valley still needs 6 points to tie this and the extra point to take the lead. They hand it off here to Brandon Marshall, who's dragged down, and that's going to bring up 3rd and goal.
And you have no timeouts. That's the other thing.
Clock is winding down at 35 seconds. Javion Marshall made that tackle. Half a minute to go now.
Touchdown or bust because you have no chance to get a first down. What can Tuskegee do on defense to stop this Fort Valley State offense?
Durham still has it, but he's pushed out of bounds at the 5. They may have lost about a yard on 3rd and goal. Christian Ramsey, who had the interception before, came over to make the play. That brings up a do-or-die 4th and goal.
And he was beat on the play to Darius Anderson. I thought it was going to be an option to throw the football, but look at all the defenders. They rally up and get him out of bounds. And they cover on the back end. Now, if you're Tuskegee, one last chance, you know that Fort Valley State has to get it into the end zone.
Biggest play of this thrilling Boeing Red Tails Classic. 4th and goal. Do or die here for Fort Valley State and Kelvin Durham.
3 by 1. You've got 3 receivers on one side, tight end back here. Let's see what they do with this one.
Durham To the back of the end zone for Anderson. Didn't make the catch. The Tuskegee defense stands tall. There is a flag down with 7 seconds to go in the fourth. And we'll see what it's for as we wait with bated breath for this next moment.
In that area, usually it's a pick or a rub or a hold by the defense. When you have those 3 receivers to one side, that's usually the case. They're trying to have a rub route, or defenders call it picks.
Everyone's waiting for Ben Cole, our referee.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 19. Half distance to the goal, first down.
Rossi Grimes is the guilty party. Yeah, he pulls the face mask of DeJuan Bell. And that gives at least one more play. Maybe 2, but I think only 1 with the way this game is played out.
New life for Kelvin Durham and Fort Valley State to grab onto. But just 7 seconds left. Durham to the end zone again, wanted Hampton off his fingertips with 3 seconds left. And they'll get one more chance.
They threw
Hampton is hurt.
Yeah, he went down. They threw it quick enough to get another play. Clock stops. Hinton is a guy that they tried to target. Looks like he just goes down awkwardly. Hopefully not too serious, but he goes down on one leg and just that was the matchup that they were looking for. Bigger receiver, tight end at 6'5", 240. A gentleman that had a really strong camp. I hope he's okay.
He came over from Jackson State in his debut for Fort Valley. Meanwhile, 3 seconds left.
Excuse me. He had really been effective blocking today, too. I just watched some of the things he was doing earlier in the game.
Game comes down to this. They hand it off to Williams, and the Tuskegee defense is able to close it out with a goal line stand. And they take the Boeing Red Tails Classic on the final play of the game.
I would think they want that back. They score. Everybody's happy, but man, you couldn't ask for a crazier end to the game.
Sean Gibbs and Aaron James, 2 good friends, embrace after a Boeing Red Tails Classic for the ages.
Wouldn't it be something if these guys get back into the SIAC championship and play against each other?
That'd be pretty incredible. That'd be pretty incredible. Well, what a night. Aaron James, the head coach for Tuskegee, in his first as the head coach, is able to get the Golden Tigers back on track in this rivalry.
Welcome to the Geico ESPN High School Football Showcase, and welcome to Texas, where the thirst for high school football is as great as any state.